Hey guys, Alex here with Excel in You. Today let's talk about how we can merge information like names using the CONCAT formula, and separating text like addresses using the text to column feature. Let's talk about using the CONCAT formula and the text to columns feature. Both of these are designed to bring information together or separate them depending on your needs. If we look at our data sheet here, we have first name and last name in two separate columns. Let's start by bringing them together using concat. We're going to type in equals concat, open our parenthesis. Now there's two ways to do this. I can continue typing as much as I need to in this straight line, or I can use the formula button. This opens up a pop-up that I can now enter in the information for my formula or function as necessary. In this case, text 1 is in the first column and text 2 is in the second column. I can continue to add text as much as I need to. I'm going to click OK, and there it is. Our information has been combined from the two columns. I can copy this and paste it into all the cells below, and now the information is brought together from all the different cells. You'll notice that first and last name, there's no space in between them. So let's modify this formula now, and I'm going to undo. Let's start again. Equals concat. I'm going to type this in this time, a little bit different. Once I've started, my first text is in cell F4, comma. Next, I want a space between the first name and last name. So I'm going to open a parenthesis, create a space, close the parenthesis, hit comma. Select my second cell, close the parenthesis. I apologize, these are commas, not parentheses that we're using. Now I hit enter. Now we can see first name, space, last name. And again, I can copy this information. Another way of copying is dragging down from the box and adjusting my cell size. Now we have first name, space, last name. Now when we click on this cell, you'll notice in the formula bar, you still see the concat formula, not the text. So what we're going to do is we're going to make this text permanent by copying the cells that have formulas in them and pasting them again immediately. Then, using Control, I open up the special paste values, and I want to paste just the values. Now, when I click on a cell, you'll see in the formula box that it's the text that we want entered in there. It's no longer a formula. If you leave the formula in there, as long as the cells aren't moving around or changing, it's not a big deal. But what if I wanted to get rid of these two columns because I don't need first and last name separated? I only need them combined. Well, anywhere that this was a formula, the formula now reads two blank boxes, so it's going to return an error. So we want to make sure that if we are moving data, deleting data, or otherwise changing up our spreadsheet, that once we've used the formula, we're copying and special pasting only the values to make sure that our data is left behind. Now let's look at flipping this around. Let's look at separating the text from one column into two columns. We'll start by highlighting our data. Under Data, we're going to go to Text to Columns. We have a delimited set of information. That means that there is something in between the text that we want separated, in this case a space. We go to Next. We have space highlighted. If you're using commas, semicolons, tabs, or another character, you can note those here. We click Next, and there's a few different ways that we can advance this a little further. This is a simple one, so nothing more to do. We click Finish. And now we have our first name in one column, our last name in a second column. If there's more than one piece of information, if there's a sentence, if there's multiple elements to the name like first, middle, and last, Note that this will separate each piece of text that is separated by a space into a new column. So if there was first, middle, last, then we would see first name, middle name, last name. If this was an address, we might see each element of the address separated among different elements of columns. Get your free one-on-one strategy session scheduled through our Skool platform in the comments below.